Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11. Harrisville State Park was the place to be this weekend for young aspiring hunters. Plus, Connie's Cafe hosted a benefit for cancer. And this weekend was the annual Mum Sale at the Farmers Market. We'll have those stories along with your local weather and sports. The news that affects you starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey. People of all ages got together on Sunday to fire their best shot. This weekend, kids and adults took part in a hunter's education program at Harrisville State Park. Saturday was the classroom education at Mount Maria Hall in Harrisville, and Sunday their skills were put to the test. The grounds had 6 to 7 different stations set up for learning, and even I got the chance to learn how to shoot.
The whole point of the hunter's education program is a safety program. We want the kids or adults that are taking the program to kind of know how to safely handle their firearms, know what to do in certain situations if they're in the field, what parts of the gun do they need to know, things like that.
The program is all within the area of the state park and allows up to 100 people to join. This year, around 75 people joined in. And some good news health-wise for Northeast Michigan. As of right now, there have been no cases of enterovirus D68 in Northeast Michigan. Enterovirus D68 is a respiratory illness that affects mainly infants, children, and teens. This illness has been reported in the Midwest within the past week and is slowly making its way east. The peak of this illness is the summer and the fall, and it is spread from person to person by sneezing, coughing, or touching. Doctors are urging parents to be aware of the symptoms of this illness. Some symptoms include wheezing, shortness of breath, hypoxia, and fever. There are no vaccines or medicines to cure enterovirus since it is indeed a virus. And for those who like to choose herbal methods of medicine and natural foods, Natural Health Connection in downtown Alpena has a lot to offer. Owner of Health Connection, Joan Prentice, joined forces with herbalist Monica Streeter to lead a wild harvesting event. The two offered their services to inspire others to get involved with what Mother Nature has to offer. They lead a small group around different areas along the river to discover different plants and their uses.
What we're focusing on are herbs and berries and roots that are available out in the wild that have both medicinal properties, which means they can be used for medicine, but also that some of them are edible and can be used for survival foods.
Joan calls this a passion of hers and said she got hooked just after graduating college. You can visit Natural Health Connection at 200 East Chisholm Street. And Connie's Cafe hosted a fall festival this weekend to benefit cancer. Connie, Stephan, and Judy Burns teamed up on Saturday to put together a hearty turkey dinner to raise money for Friends Together. Judy Burns founded Friends Together and holds it near and dear to her heart after losing her daughter to colon cancer. The event included 2 bands and numerous raffles. There were gift baskets given away, as well as a golf cart, which was provided by Connie's Cafe, Mikey's Motors, and Cutting Edge Collision.
We're expecting to have at least 300 to 400 people today. This is a festival, and all the proceeds go to Friends Together, and all of our folks know that we service 5 counties in Northeast Michigan, helping families who are coping with cancer.
Friends Together offers more than 9 programs to people affected by cancer and even has a van that transports patients. This year marked the 4th annual Festival of Friends. And despite the yucky weather this weekend, it was an exciting weekend for the farmers market as the annual Mum fundraiser took place. Despite the cold, dreary weather, people still made their way downtown to buy some beautiful flowers for a great cause. The purpose of the Mum fundraiser is to support Children's Day, which will take place on September 27th. This is a fun event that is put together every year and usually costs around $3,000 to run.
This year we'll have the petting zoo, we'll have hay rides, we're going to have kayak, a pool for kayaking so children can learn how to kayak. And it's also an opportunity for them to come down and try different vegetables We'll have a bunch of vegetables cut up, and so we encourage the children healthy eating.
This event is free for children to participate in, and the mums will continue to be sold on next Saturday at the farmers market to continue to help raise money. And coming up next on WBKB News at 11, a Gobles man was rushed to the hospital after jumping from a car Friday. Plus, find out which artist's paintings could sell for $50 million. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In state news, a Gobles man was rushed to the hospital after jumping out of a moving car after an argument.
Well, we have confirmed that the victim is in critical condition here at Bronson Methodist Hospital. According to the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office, he jumped out of his ex-girlfriend's car after they got in an argument about their 3-year-old child who was in the back seat at the time. Now, we spoke with that child's grandparents tonight. They asked not to be identified, but they say they hope everyone is praying for James. It took everyone on this street some time to wrap their heads around what happened.
I was sitting here in the chair and my wife said, "We got company."
James and Doris Tripp say a woman pulled in front of their house, grabbed a blanket from her car, and ran across the street.
We looked out the window and there was a young man laying out here in the grass across the street. I thought he had red hair, but apparently it was blood on his head.
So he went out to see what happened.
I asked him if somebody got hit by a car, and they said no. She told me that a young man had jumped out of a car while it was moving.
The Van Buren County Sheriff's Office says the victim, Doolin Miller, jumped out after getting in an argument with his ex-girlfriend. Seen here talking to police. I mean, he was really actually fighting with the police.
He was combatant. He tried to get up several times and they had to hold him down and his arms were waving around.
Witnesses believe the behavior was because of Doolin Miller's severe head trauma.
He was fighting with the officer. The officer was trying to hold him on the ground, and then the ambulance showed up and they put him on a gurney. They put a neck brace on him and
strapped him down.
Put him on a stretcher.
Then he started hearing a loud roar from above.
Then I seen the helicopter fly over the house a couple of times.
Which is when he realized how serious the situation was. Now, once again, we have confirmed that Doolin Miller is here at Bronson Methodist Hospital in critical condition. His children's grandparents tell us that he is now in a medically induced coma, and whether or not he will survive is still very much in question. The incident is also still under investigation. We're outside of Bronson Methodist Hospital in Kalamazoo tonight. I'm Jared Worksma, News Channel 3.
Airbnb. And in your Money Watch, home sharing company Airbnb isn't getting a warm reception from a group of opponents in New York who say the company is hurting the hotel industry and landlords. Airbnb offers alternative lodging to hotels by matching up homeowners and travelers from around the world. And 2 Mark Rothko paintings are among the items that Sotheby's will auction later this fall. The works of art are a part of the estate of Rachel Bunny Mellon, the heir to the Listerine fortune. The works could fetch up to $50 million collectively. Another piece from the estate, a blue pear-shaped diamond, could go for $10 to $15 million. In all, 2,000 pieces will be on the block. And a new survey busts the myth that people will do just about anything to get ahead at work. According to Career Builder, most Americans don't aspire to the top job in their field. Just 34% want a leadership position, while only 7% have their eyes on the executive suite. The survey also showed 40% of men compared to only 29% of women want the top job. And if you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $3.46 at Murphy USA Station. The highest is $3.59 at Standard Express. And across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $3.14 in Lambertville. And the highest price is coming in at $4.15 in Copper Harbor. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Jessica Starbird will be in with a look at sports, and I'll be right back with your weather. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It is now time for a look at your weather. And looking at today's high was 57 degrees with a low of 33 degrees. The normal is at 70, so we still were under that normal high and under the normal low as well. The record was 94 degrees in 1939 and 26 degrees in 1963. We had a sunrise at 7:12 a.m. and a sunset at 7:47. And taking a look at your current conditions, it is currently 49 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Humidity is at 86% with southwest winds at 6 miles an hour. It has a real feel of 47 degrees, so make sure you take that jacket with you tonight. And taking a look at our current radar, we are mostly clear for the state of Michigan. You see some showers coming across from the west. We can see some possible rain showers tomorrow, so definitely plan to carry that umbrella. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, we have some scattered showers with a high of 50 degrees with southwest winds at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow's forecast is looking cloudy with a high of 59 degrees. As I said, we could see some possible rain showers. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And taking a look at tomorrow night's forecast, tomorrow night we're going to have gradually clearing skies. All that rain is going to be moving out of our system with a high of 44 degrees. And taking a look at your extended forecast, the rest of the week looks to be a nice one. Tuesday, a high of 63 degrees, sunny skies. Wednesday, 57. Thursday and Friday, you can look to be in the low 60s. And Saturday, 69 degrees. So it looks to be a very nice week. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Mike Dotch of Ossineek. Mike sent us this gorgeous photo of a blue heron sitting out on Thunder Bay. Wow, Mike, thanks. That's so awesome. And if you have a photo you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. And in your Health Watch this evening, controlling blood sugar levels may not be enough to avoid diabetes and cardiovascular disease. A study presented at the meeting of the American Heart Association finds inflammation may be the reason high sugar levels damage blood vessels. Researchers say physical exercise and weight loss are key to reduce both blood sugar and inflammation. And doctors are calling on high-income countries like the U.S. and Britain to fight harder against the Ebola breakout. An editorial in the Journal of the American Medical Association says developed nations are obligated to advanced research for fighting the epidemic, including running clinical trials of new drugs. The current Ebola crisis in West Africa has killed more than 2,200 people. And children who get plenty of physical exercise appear to do better in school. A study in Finland found benefits for boys in particular during the first 3 years of school. Researchers say higher levels of activity were linked to better reading skills and higher math scores. And in your national news, top leaders in Great Britain held an emergency meeting Sunday to plot the next move in the fight against ISIS as the U.S. tried to organize a military offensive. It comes just one day after a British aid worker was shown on video apparently being executed. Brian Webb has more.
The brother of David Haynes spoke out today demanding justice against the terrorists who killed the British aid worker.
My family and I agree with the government that we need to identify those travelling to fight with ISIL and on their return to the UK face the consequences of their actions.
44-year-old Haynes was apparently beheaded on video by a masked man who condemned Britain's backing of the U.S. military. It was the same method used in the deaths of 2 American journalists, James Foley and Stephen Sotloff. The British Prime Minister called the killers monsters.
They claim to do this in the name of Islam. That is nonsense. Islam is a religion of peace. They are not Muslims. They are monsters.
The U.S. continues to drum up support and supplies from Middle East countries for the fight against ISIS. Secretary of State John Kerry said it's too early to say which countries are on board, and he stressed the U.S. is not looking to put soldiers in Syria.
We're not looking to put troops on the ground. There are some who have offered to do so, but we are not looking for that at this moment anyway.
The killings may not be over. A second aid worker, Alan Henning, snatched from a refugee camp on the Syrian border, is being threatened with execution if Great Britain doesn't back down soon. Brian Webb for CBS News, New York.
Secretary Kerry says the U.S. and other countries plan to provide air support and training to Syrian opposition soldiers fighting against ISIS. And sports is coming up next, but first Jessica Starbird is here with a preview of what's ahead. Jessica?
Michelle, coming up in sports, we have some good news and some bad news for Detroit fans. Plus, see which play was good enough for our play of the week for week 3 of the football season. Stay tuned. When the game's on the line, big-time players make big-time plays. And with the Alcona Tigers and the Rogers City Hurons playing in a battle of the unbeatens Friday night, Alcona's Hunter Sullivan came through in the clutch to create opportunities for his team with this week's Play of the Week. So let's set up the scene for you. Alcona already up 8-zip, about to get the ball back. Rogers City will punt it away here, but Avery Perez can't get a good handle on it. He's drilled, forcing the fumble. Hurons pick it up just inches from their goal line. Rogers City hopes to even it up by going to the air, but Hunter Sullivan has other things in mind. He'll intercept the ball and any momentum the Hurons had. Nice jump there by the junior, who was already on his way to another huge year. Second appearance for the playmaker for this week's Play of the Week, and the Tigers will go on to win this one 22-6 to remain undefeated. Big homecoming game coming up for Alcona next Friday as they host the Tawas Braves. The Posen Vikings playing some Saturday football yesterday, defeating Eben Junction Superior Central 24-6. And it was the Skylar Tedesco show for Posen. Tedesco had 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and a pick 6 in the win. The Vikings will be back to playing under the Friday night lights next week when they make the trip to Bel Air. Some college volleyball action this weekend over at ACC. The Lady Lumberjacks hosting the Oakland Raiders at Park Arena. Rough first set for ACC, but Sandy Bishop will put the Lumberjacks on the board. Her spike will go out of bounds off the hands of a Raider, but ACC still trails 9-1. They'd go on to lose that first set 25-7. They'd have a strong start in the second set. That's Bishop again here with the kill at the net. That is going to give the Lumberjacks a 14-12 lead, but the Raiders proved to be too strong as they battled, going on a 12-point run to lead up to match point. And despite acrobatic efforts there from Emma Strong, the Lumberjacks fall to the Raiders 25-14. Alpena would go on to lose the game in 3 straight sets. Tigers looking for the series sweep today against the Cleveland Indians, just a half game ahead of the Kansas City Royals. Scoreless through the first 4 innings until J.D. Martinez gets the offense going in dramatic fashion. He launches a solo shot over the center field wall. Tigers take a 1-run lead. Indians will tie it up in the 5th, but things really start to get dicey for Detroit in the 6th. Justin Verlander starting to lose control, so he's relieved by Blaine Hardy. Things not getting better for him. He'll drill Michael Bradley after allowing an RBI single to give the Indians a 3-1 lead. But in the 7th inning, Ian Kinsler comes in to save the day with Rajai Davis on first. Kinsler goes yard to left center field for a 2-run home run. Tigers go on to score 2 more in the 8th, winning this one by a final score of 6-4. And thanks to the Boston Red Sox, who defeated the Royals today 8-4, the Tigers now take a 1.5 game lead in the AL Central. Lions looking to start their season 2-0 today, making the trip to North Carolina, taking on the Panthers. Lions with a chance to score on a 49-yard field goal attempt, but Nate Freese goes wide. He shanked 2 field goal attempts today, and the Lions go into halftime down 6-0. In the 3rd, Matt Stafford will open it up by marching down the field and finding Jed Collins there. And, you know, Rob Gronkowski spikes the ball, Jimmy Graham dunks the ball, but, you know, Collins is going to rock the ball like a baby to sleep. Interesting celebration there, but Collins' touchdown will give the Lions a 7-6 lead. But the Panthers would claw their way back. They'd score 2 TDs, including this Jonathan Stewart 2-yard run. And Ron Rivera says, let's go for 2. So Cam Newton says, sure, coach, why not? He'll hit Jericho Cotchery for the successful 2-point conversion. Panthers go up 21-7. And on the ensuing kickoff, Jeremy Ross, he's going to fumble the ball here, and Graham Gano, the kicker there, he'll recover. He'll knock in the field goal himself to give the Panthers the 24-7 win. Lions will look to bounce back from the loss when they host the Green Bay Packers next week. Missing from today's Lions game was Panthers defensive end Greg Hardy. The team deactivated him just an hour before the game, making him one of the many players sitting out due to personal conduct issues. CBS News' Jerrica Duncan reports from New Rochelle, New York, where former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice's family attended church services.
Carolina Panthers defensive end Greg Hardy was removed from Sunday's roster with no explanation. Hardy is appealing a July domestic assault conviction he played last Sunday against Tampa. Earlier in the week, the Panthers owner broke down as he spoke about domestic violence while accepting an award.
I stand firmly against domestic violence. Plain and simple.
Richardson's remarks came shortly after a video emerged showing former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice punching and knocking out his then fiancée. On Friday, the Minnesota Vikings suspended running back Adrian Peterson. He is charged with injuring a child after he admitted to using a branch to spank his 4-year-old. Ray Rice and his wife were back in his hometown, New Rochelle, Saturday to watch a high school football game. On Sunday, his mother attended church services where her sister is the pastor. Inside, Pastor Denise Campbell said the Rice family is staying strong, and even Rice's mother, who appeared happy and at ease, closed the sermon out with a song. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is still under fire for his handling of the Rice situation.
I want him to lead the reform to actually create and enforce a zero-tolerance policy. If he lied to the American people, then he has to step down.
Goodell admitted he could have done more than suspend Rice for only 2 games after first learning of the assault. He claims he never saw the new video until last week. Jerrica Duncan, CBS News, New Rochelle, New York.
Now over to the East Lake Golf Club, where Billy Horschel became $11 million richer today. Horschel pulling away early at the Tour Championship to win the FedEx Cup. The 27-year-old from Florida finished the championship 11 under par, capping off his best 3 weeks of golf he has played since coming onto the tour 4 years ago. Jim Furyk and Rory McIlroy tied for second in the event, both finishing the weekend 8 under. Horschel did not qualify for the Ryder Cup, making today's win his 2013 tour finale. In Michelle today, Team USA became gold medal winners at the FIBA Basketball World Championship. Detroit Pistons star Andre Drummond had 6 points and 2 rebounds in the Team USA's 129-92 win over Team Serbia. So
that's pretty
gold
exciting.
Medal winners.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is very cool. And I can't believe $11 million at age 27 years old.
He's actually got a baby due on September 27th, so we'll know where the money's going.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, coming up next on WBKB News at 11, find out which chocolate company hosted their 19th annual chocolate festival. Stay with us.